This morning's gospel lesson comes to us from Luke chapter 12, verses 49 through 56. Jesus warns people of the signs of the times. I came to cast fire upon the earth, and would that it were already kindled. I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how I am constrained until it is accomplished. Do you think that I have come to give peace on earth? No, I tell you, but rather division. For henceforth in one house there will be 5 divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. They will be divided, father against son, son against father, mother against daughter, and daughter against mother, mother-in-law against mother-in-law. Jesus also said to the multitudes, when you see a cloud rising in the west, you say at once, a shower is coming. And so it happens. And when you see the south wind blowing, you say, there will be scorching heat. And it happens. You hypocrites, you know how to interpret the appearance of earth and sky, but why do you not know how to interpret the present time? May God add understanding to the reading of this gospel.
Would you join in singing the Glory of God?
You know, every week we send out the scriptures and the music for the following Sunday that will be coming up. David always comes in on Sunday mornings and tells us that he's either read the readings or today he said he had been busy all week long and hadn't had a chance to read the readings. And I said, well, good, because the sermon has nothing to do with the readings. Sometimes things happen in your life and in your week that maybe it's time to get on a high horse. As a wonderful aunt of mine used to say, maybe it's time I tell you how to cow eat the cabbage. God, I ask that you send your spirit upon me. Calm myself, calm me. Remove me from all fears, concerns, and anxieties, and replace that with the movement of your Holy Spirit within me. I ask, God, that you truly anoint my heart and my lips. Anoint the ears of those who would hear a message today, that no matter what they come away with, that it be your message for them this day on their faith journey. Amen. Never cease praying. Early in the week, I sent out a note saying that I was sending my prayers and good energy to the community of Odessa, Texas, which had just had a mass shooting, killing 7 people and wounding 21 others. And all they were doing was driving on the freeway. Someone that I consider a friend sent back a note stating, prayers and good thoughts are not working, so stop. No. My response was that I knew these things were not changing policies. My prayers and energies were not changing policy and legislation in Washington, D.C. But that doesn't mean I can't pray for those who are killed, for those who are lying in a hospital bed wounded. Think of the prayers that were said back when the El Paso shooting happened. When that one older gentleman every day went to the cross after his wife had been killed in that parking lot. And he cried, his biggest fear, knowing that she and he were the only members of their family left. His biggest fear was that he'd be alone. No one would come to her funeral. They had to pick 2 different venues to have her funeral service at. Flowers and bouquets of flowers came from all over the country and all over the world of people who just reached out in prayer and in love. We have to be peacemakers. My heart was heavy during the week after this exchange. So I actually, believe it or not, turned to Scripture. Do you know there are 60 passages contained in the Bible about constantly praying? It's not just 1 or 2 mentions, it's 60 times. And no, I did not count each one. I trust the theologians that wrote that for me. Luke chapter 21, verse 36. Be alert at all times, praying that you may have the strength to escape all things that will take place, and to stand before the child of God. Luke chapter 18, verse 1. Then Jesus told them a parable about their need to pray and always and not lose heart. It is true that prayer alone will change nothing, but it is also true that without prayer, nothing will change. We are called as a people, as followers, to do the right thing in all things. Find the correct path. And the only path that I have found is the pathway filled with prayer, hope, and good deeds. Pray and never cease praying. Prayer is the fuel for our faith, and it causes miracles. There has been much in the news lately for us to be in prayer about. The shootings in El Paso, Dayton, Ohio, Odessa, Texas, the fires in the Amazon. Most of us have been in prayer for the past week for the path of Hurricane Dorian. During this whole hurricane event, I never once heard or read anybody say, prayers and good thoughts are not working. We have faith that it will. I think God is a little more powerful and a little more potent than some of our legislators in Washington, D.C. And if God can spare one soul, then continue to pray. We had faith that our prayers would be heard and that the lives of many more people would be saved from the devastation that could have been leashed out by this monstrous storm. I would encourage us not to just pray for the bad things around us, but let us also be in constant prayer through thanksgiving for all the many good things that we have been given by our Creator. Let us be in prayer through laughter at the sound of a young child giggling and laughing. Let us be in prayer for the soft, gentle rains that give our fields and yards the much-needed waters of life. Let us be in prayer for the coolness of a soft, gentle breeze on a warm, sunny day. Through all things, be they good or bad, let us never cease praying. For prayer to be listed some 60 times in the Scriptures, my guess, folks, is that it's pretty darn important. Pray and never cease. Prayer is the fuel for our faith, and it causes miracles. Ephesians 5:21 through 12. 12 through 21. I guess I was going to try to read that backwards for you. But we appeal to you, brothers and sisters, to respect those who labor among you and have charge of you in the Lord and admonish you. Esteem them very highly in love because of their work. Be at peace among yourselves. And we urge you, beloved, to admonish idlers, encouraging the faint-hearted, help the weak, be patient with all of them. See that none of you repays evil for evil, but always seek to do good to one another and to all. Rejoice always. Pray without ceasing. Give thanks in all circumstances. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. Do not quench the Spirit. Do not despise the words of the prophet, but test everything. Hold fast to what is good. Romans 12:12. Rejoice in hope. Be patient in suffering. Persevere in prayer. Sometimes we don't know what to pray. Sometimes it's just difficult. There's a phrase that one of our members uses. Thanks for the blessings. That's prayer. And sometimes, when it comes to our legislators and the people in Washington, my best prayer that I can offer them is to keep quiet. And hopefully, I don't antagonize them to do more. Sometimes peace and quiet is prayer, and that's okay. A few weeks ago, Cheryl and Marla went on a camping trip. Posted a picture of Marla laying in a hammock with the breeze blowing. That's prayer. For me, it would be prayer that I could get in that hammock and get out of it without breaking a bone. But it's prayer to be at one with our Mother Earth. It's a prayer when you're digging that last fence post. It's a prayer when you're having to drive that last nail or screw or whatever you use to build a wheelchair ramp. When I was with the Franciscans, once a week we called a chapter. Members of the house would sit around. After dinner, we would talk about different things from the week. Somebody brought up prayer. And this one guy said, every night when I watch Mark do the dishes, the look on his face is that of prayer. It was my task. So I did it with heartfelt prayer, Are your prayers needed? A few years ago, I did a workshop based on a book by Wilkie Awe. It's kind of a silly little gimmick. But we all stood in a circle and had a ball of yarn. I held one end of the yarn and tossed the ball of yarn back and forth till it made a complete circle several times. And then we counted off. 1, 2, and 3. And I had all the 2s drop their yarn. The 1s and 3s couldn't pull the yarn tight enough to keep it up anymore. That's what prayer's about. Everybody's prayer is important. Don't discount it. Especially don't discount your own prayer. Your own prayer is vital to the life of Christ. Pray and never cease. Prayer is the fuel for our faith, and it causes miracles. And we can use